welcome to another Maplestory 2 video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Thief. It's one of my favorite classes that I've leveled up as an alt. I did a poor build and I kind of poorly described about how Thief where I only tried out 2 builds and I wasn't sure how to build a Thief. But I did link a video in that previous video, and this time hopefully this is going to be a much better build for Thief. However, I am level 52, so it's mainly because of me doing it as an alt, doing daily dungeons and getting level ups. I did not finish the trophies with the skill points, so I am lacking a little bit of skill points as well. However, at level 52 we do unlock haste at level 10, which is really great. So that's one of the main reasons why I started to make this video. So starting off, we do have double slash at 10 for the cunning 16%. We have Poison Edge and Poison Vial. These 2 skills are required to have level 6 to unlock Ruthless Guile, but it's also really good skills that you can use to fill in the extra DPS with the poison. And of course, once the enemy is about to, let's say, run away, or you're about to, you won't be able to stack these poison all the time, then you have your surprise attack, which deals a high burst damage, and that can finish off enemies as well. We have Cunning Tactics 1, and I know you can go with Blade Dance 1 at least, and the reason for that is if you do want to have an extra evasive skill, if you don't rely too much on Mindbreaker, you have Blade Dance, as mentioned in that other video. When you use Cunning and then use Blade Dance, which turns into Blade Dance X or EX, it gives you an iframe for 1 second, which is really nice for safety. Unfortunately, I do not have the points for it at the moment, so I won't be spending my point into Blade Dance yet. We do have Somersault Kick at 10 as usual. This is your main skill that you use every 6 seconds to kick enemy and deal a lot of damage. We have 5 Mindbreaker to unlock Vicious Cuts. Vicious Cuts is going to be a filler, so whenever your stacks of poison is up and ticking for 12 seconds, you are going to have Vicious Cuts in between. If you proc the Cunning, you use your Vicious Cuts instead to stab enemy and deal slightly higher damage than just spamming double slash. And then as for haste, it's at 10. You may wonder why did I not spend on Quick Step and Mesoscard Plus, as I mentioned before. Mesoscard Plus, it only gives you for a short amount of time of extra damage, and I felt like that damage could have been much better if you play around with Poison Edge and Poison Vial, because that increases your total DPS in general, that you can have up every like 100% if you're really good with Thief. As of Mesoscard, you only use it when you wanna buff up yourself for a certain amount of time, and then it's gone and being on cooldown for 60 seconds. I would have gone for Deft Competent, but I do not have enough points to spend on Vicious Cuts to 5 and then unlock a little bit more to increase the damage of Kick and Vicious Cuts. But for now, I think this should be decent for my build, and I'm gonna showcase a little bit. So in that video, he did mention, or he has some video, I think it was in the middle of it when he was showcasing his rotation. Most of the skill icons were showing up on the left side of the screen, telling you which skill he activates to do the rotation. He did not talk though, so I'm gonna go more detailed about it. So when you start off, you do want to go off with Poison Vial or Haste, so it really depends on which one you prefer using. In my opinion, I prefer using Poison Vial first because it's a poison damage. Haste gives you damage boost to your physical, so if you throw your Vial first and then you use Haste, you still have the time to, some extra time, like 2 seconds or something, if you want to min-max your Haste duration. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. But once you used both Haste and Poison Vial, your next skill is going to be Somersault Kick. So you proc this, it's going to be on global cooldown or off global cooldown for 6 seconds, and you start off with Cunning Tactics. So you have your Cunning ready and you use Poison Edge. So at this point you used up your highest damage skill, which is on cooldown on 6 seconds. You go for your Cunning Tactics afterwards, which is going to be on cooldown for 23 seconds, but you also use this as an opener to proc the poison stacking with Poison Edge. So at this point you would have Poison Vial ticking, you would have Poison Edge ticking, and this kick has already been procced, so you're already done your high damage early on. And then after that you keep spamming Double Slash until you proc more Cunning, and with that you fill in with Vicious Cuts. And Vicious Cuts is going to be your filler until you notice that your skills or your poisons are getting low. You restack the poison if you can. If you do not manage, or if you feel like you don't have any Cunning, like your proc chance is quite low and it doesn't proc because of RNG, if the timer is really low on both Poison Vial and Poison Edge, you're supposed to use your surprise attack. So for me right now, I would say if you don't see me use surprise attack, it will usually be at the end of the rotation or end of the 1 minute parse that I'm gonna showcase. So going off, let's see how much damage we're gonna do. Hopefully I'll do pretty good this time. I may hit a few targets, but I hope that's not too bad. My max DP, or my max total damage I've done so far in 1 minute is about 1.3 million with this kind of setup at the moment. So keep in mind of that. If I do want to level up my Thief, which is the underdog class, I kind of want to see how it is at max geared in comparison to other DPS classes. But yeah, enjoyed the video. Hopefully this was a little bit more informative. I'm gonna now do the parsing for 1 minute. So yeah, 1 minute, 1.3 million damage in total. I did screw up on the opener. I'm still trying to get used to it, but I try to use the Poison Vial, Haste, and then I keep forgetting to use my Cunning tactics. At the same time, I keep forgetting about using my Somersault Kick at the very beginning. But 1.3 million with this type of build. Let's see, let's drag them together so you guys can keep in mind if you're a Thief main. This is the build that I have right now, and hopefully it will help you a little bit. It does take some practice. Obviously I'm doing this on a single target dummy that's just standing still. For Tronics, I would say, depending on the party, I can get up from 2 million to 4 million in total damage within 5 minutes. So yeah, just practice a lot, and hopefully you won't break your keyboard, because you do have a lot of skills that you have to work with. So you have 2 active skills that you use every 60 seconds and 23 seconds, and then you have 1 skill that uses every 6 seconds. You stack poison every 10 seconds and 12 seconds. So that's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind, and then you have to fill in with Vicious Cuts and Double Slash now and then, and well, obviously you finish off with Surprise Attack at the end of the minute. If not, if you're really unlucky with the RNG to not being able to stack with your Poison Edge, then you need to use your Surprise Attack. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's a better Thief video rather than just going with the Vicious Cut build. Hopefully this was something that's more likely to be a Thief build than, you know, my pleb build that I did earlier. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.